Doodleman's 86. Reviews, theories, games, announcements, and more.
When do you think the package is gonna arrive? I don't know, Mr. Dog, but I hope it does. And by the way, guys, this is literally the only collab he wanted. He just wanted to say hi, by the way. Just letting you know. Anyway, I think it's cool. Who are you? Oh my goodness. Well, I think the package has arrived. Hello everyone, welcome back to another Doodleman's 86 video, and I am here to review the gashapon figures for Godzilla 2000 and Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, and I am here with my pet doggo. Say hi. Hey. But yeah, there he is. Anyway, we're gonna get straight into this review, because these are figures I've wanted for a long time. These are cool, and thank you to my parents who got them and helped me. Anyway, before we get into this, I just want to quickly mention that I love this design of Godzilla. And although some may deem him too short, I like how he looks like a combination of Godzilla and a dragon. Just those two designs mixed together overall make a very cool, compelling character that you can definitely get involved with because of how cool he is. And his opponents are so awesome, and the story I love. Like, I could do a review on this, and I could, defend the movie, I guess. But, you know what? That's not what we're here for. We're here for the figures, which are equally as awesome. So, anyway, getting over here to the checklist, you can see that it is of, a Godzilla 2000 gashapon figure right there. It's kind of blackish gray, and it's mainly his head. And here you can see it says high grade in Japanese. It says HG, and then it says it in Japanese. I don't know if you guys can see it. And it says Godzilla 2000 also in Japanese. And it says Godzilla 6. Right here, just Godzilla 6. Then it says Bandai. People who helped make the figure. That's awesome. That's very awesome. I like it. Anyway, if you open up the checklist, or at least on the back, you do get some instructions, some warnings, cautions, how to build it, I think. At least I think. But I don't read Japanese, so sorry. Then over here, we got the figures you can get in this series, which is the Showa Mogira from the Mysterians, Showa Manila from the Showa era, Orga and Godzilla, which is the figures corresponding to the movie, because these came out when the movie came out, just like how all the other series came out. You get Varan from the Showa era, and then 1962 Godzilla vs. King Kong, which I guess you could say was the first Green Godzilla, but then again, he was a little more on the blackish side, and some say he is black. I'd say he's kind of in between, though. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, putting these two guys aside, or at least for now, at least put them aside for now, let's get straight into this. We have Godzilla 2000. Just gonna rotate him here, let you all see from different angles. Anyway, here he is. Into the paint applications, it's spot on. It's so good. I love it, and I love how Gashapon always keeps to their word and does it so well. Like, the paint apps here are awesome. I don't see any mistakes on here, nor in either of the figures. So getting into it, he has this kind of greenish grayish color, I guess you could say. It's all over the body. It's on a few of the spines and dorsal plates, and it is in between the colors, paints, yada yada. It's everywhere, actually. It's what makes up most of the figure. Some on the tips of the spines. And before we continue, I just want to give a little shout out, and I am bringing the shout out videos back to a few YouTubers who I think deserve it. So I am going to be doing those. Anyway, a mini shout out to Dragonzilla, because he does great videos as well. And I love his gashapon reviews as well. I hope he can do more in the future, but you know what? He doesn't have to. He can make whatever he wants, but I hope he does make some. Anyway, getting into the paint again. Here we do have some silver. Hold on, I don't know the camera. Okay, there you go. It's silver, but then you can see that in the actual Godzilla 2000 design, he doesn't have silver on the plates. I think it looks cool. You could put him in a sea of Godzillas, and this guy would stand out to you because of how cool and vibrant the colors are. I just find it interesting that they did this design, because he doesn't have them in the movie. Same thing goes for the other Godzilla over here. He doesn't have silver. He's not supposed to. But I think it looks good, though. It looks real good on these two. Then, it's actually a shiny, vibrant purple here on the main dorsal plates. As you can see, it's just in the big ones. And something else I want to point out is this guy has 7 rows of spines. Look, here's the first one. You can see the small ones here. The small ones at the bottom here. Then you see the next row, which is right here, which is the small little silver ones, kind of big. And then I don't know if you guys can see them in between here. Hopefully you can, but there are a few. And then the big ones. So overall, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows of spines. Oh my goodness. I don't remember Godzilla having that many rows in the movie, but again, it doesn't look bad. It looks good with the design. I don't think it's bad. But yeah, that's all the paint you're getting. You're also getting some red for the inside of the mouth. And then the yellowish, pinkish kind of nails. Kind of yellowish, whitish, if you could say. There's no shading though. But that's okay. I don't think this figure needs shading. Moving into articulation, there's not a lot. But between these 3, there is a bit. You do get the tail. And then another joint on the tail. Then you get the hand, which does like to fall loose a little sometimes, so I'd rather glue it than keep it loose, but you know what? Everyone can do what they want. As for the sculpt, it's really great, and something I didn't notice is that he kind of looks like the SH Monster Arts from the face. Like, he really does. He kind of looks like it, or at least to me. He looks a lot like it. Anyway, you do see that the spines are also made beautifully. They are made with care. You can see some detail, such as like little points and bubbles there. Some texturing. I love it. I love how they did here. Super cool. And you can see the individual lines they used for the tail here to mark each bump, each grotesque little scene you're going to see here. Same thing goes for the bottom. Not as many lines though, but that's okay. Then you can see some spikes up here. I don't know if it's just me, but I can't tell if these are the ears right here. Maybe they are, but I don't know. It just kind of looked weird to me. And then the eye is made with care, so is the face. Just all of it is awesome. He comes together real nicely as well. Getting into the size, he is at least 2.5, about to be 3 inches, which is at least 7 or 6 centimeters. These figures are always going to be like 2 or 3 inches though, so you're not going to get a big figure. You're just going to get this small one, which is honestly, I like them. I think they're pretty cool and they're pretty neat. So it's really awesome, and the sculpt and design, like everything, how they do it so small is so awesome. I can't believe they can work with such a small design and yet make it look so big and powerful. I love how they interpreted it here. And I would get into size comparison with other figures you may have, but I will leave that to the end when I have all 3 of them together. As for Orga, which is our next figure. How about we put him away? Orga, who, compared to Godzilla 2000, stands a little smaller. His hunchback makes him bigger, but his head, unfortunately, does stare down at his chest and is a little small. I wish he was bigger, like a hulking giant monster, kind of like in the manga. But you know what? This is fine. It is what it is, and I think it's pretty cool and neat. For the size comparison, because he's smaller, he's like something around the same size, 7-6 inches. As for, centimeters, inches overall is like at least 2.5. Only big because of the hunchback here. But that's not bad. I like it. Articulation, again, like I said, it's weird to me because he's not supposed to have any, but it looks like he does. Here with the hands, and it stays still. Like, you could shake it violently and it doesn't, like, fall off. Like, look at that. I don't know if it's supposed to, but from the looks of it, it's not supposed to have articulation. But if you want to, you can honestly make it look like he does have articulation. And yes, I did not put these together because I think I like the articulation. I keep saying articulation, but that's not what it is. It's supposed to be stuck in here, like that, but I kind of like to think of it as articulation. As for the paint job, you're getting this brownish kind of musky color on him. Kind of looks a little dry, which is technically what Orga is. He's from the Millennials. But where is my manners? I did not explain to you guys what the movie is. It's about, honestly, 2 organizations. One wants to capture and study Godzilla. The other wants to attempt to kill him And I guess you could say they almost successfully do it by throwing missiles into him, but even then it didn't look like it worked. Anyway, they end up waking a millennial alien ship, which has been seeking for, I guess, an organism or a different type of atmosphere they can adapt to take over Earth. And unfortunately, Godzilla has that same atmosphere that they need to adapt to Earth, and in the end, they almost succeed, but Godzilla blasts away the alien when he unhinges his jaw. And I hope you guys already watched the movie, because then that would have been spoilers. Could have ruined it, but you know what? Hopefully you watched it, so I'm sorry if I spoiled anything. Anyway, getting into the figure, back to the paint. It's brown. You're not going to get any other colors besides the shiny metallic blue. It's like a cyan baby metallic blue. It's somewhere in between those lines, and it's on some of him, mainly on the hand crusts here. And then you got some on the top of the head, which kind of fades in, and I like that effect. I like how they kind of made it look like it faded in, almost as it was a part of him. They got some over here, which slouches down to the tip of the tail. That's all. And before I get on to reviewing him even more, I just want to say that I love how they made him asymmetrical. And I guess I could explain what that means. It's like a shape with two different sides that don't look the same. Like, you could take a square, pull a line down the middle, one side would look different than the other. They're not supposed to look the same. And that's what they did here. You can obviously see it on the hunchback over here. You can see that it's differently made. And the hands on here, you get this little like line sharp knife effect over here. And then on the other side, you get the same thing except made differently, except there's spikes on here. Then you can see on the legs, and then you see it over here in the back especially. You can see there's crooked lines here and a few holes and gaps and pimples. But then on the other side, you get a few more lines and crusts. And you can definitely see that both of these sides don't look the same. It's also noticeable here, and I love that they took the time to do that, especially with the bulge here. This one's lower than this one, which is, oh my god, such great, amazing work. Props to you, high-grade figures. If you continue this, you could possibly make this even as good as a line as the NECA figures. But you know what? That's in its own league, and those guys are honestly awesome on their own. Anyway, getting back to that, that's what I wanted to mention. And then you can see for the face, the sculpt, that too is made beautifully. The camera doesn't want to pick up. I don't know. Hold on. Let's just put that guy back over there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but he does have a red eye. I think it was yellowish orange in the movie, but you know what? It's fine being like this. I don't think it's bad. You can see sharp tooth-like fangs and teeth which he uses to bite into Godzilla during battle to attempt to become a perfect clone of him. Yep, there it is. I don't know if, but yeah, you can see that it's kind of based off of Zilla's face from the 1998 movie. I think I said that wrong. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, and they based it off of Zilla's face to quote unquote watch the Japanese Godzilla defeat the American one. I don't know. But you know what? That's what they wanted to do, then that's what they do. Anyway, you see he has huge grotesque hands, and I love how one looks like it's in his walking animation. If you watch the clip from the beginning, he does use his hands to kind of walk around like a gorilla. So you can make it look like he's walking like that, I guess. Or you can make it look like he's punching Godzilla. Pow. Whichever one. And then here he has an open grasped hand with huge claws, which he will use to grab Godzilla and throw him around. Or just visibly smack him in the face. But again, you can choose what he wants to do. Then you can see the shoulder cannon over here. You can see all the lines and wrinkles that they decided to put. He kind of looks a little old, but you know what? And by old, I mean the design, not the actual toy. And then here, the pose he's in is menacing. I wish he was bigger, but again, he's not too bad here. He does look threatening. He does have his hands open out, almost as if he's ready to attack. He is in his stance, and I love how the tail wasn't made straight, or like just straight up straight. I like how they took the time and made it a little curvy curved. I like that effect. I love it. And then it kind of looks like a crustacean's tail. And then you can see the musk here. You can see right there. And the tail. I don't have anything to nitpick about here, because honestly, this figure is also great. I do wish he had a little more paint, but then again, the paint's already perfect enough on its own. And I love how each of these two were shiny, as well as the next figure that I'm getting into. Yeah, right? Yeah, dog. Yeah, you can say that. Anyway, yeah, that's Orga the figure. As for the size, he, at least in inches, again, kind of half there. Not fully, but he's almost there. Almost up to Godzilla, and I like the design, though. I like Orga. He's one of my favorite monsters. Like, he's up there with my top 10. I like it. As for the Godzilla 2000, because that movie was called Godzilla 2000, yet it was released in 1999. This one was actually released in 2000, which was Godzilla vs. Megaguirus. So, I'm going to spin him around, let you all see, again, from different angles. He, too, is kind of the same, except there are a few differences, and I'm just going to go over a few. You can see the feet, his are straight, his are kind of spread out. The nails, colors, and the teeth are different. His is more yellow than his. His is kind of more whitish, I guess you could say. You can see even here that it's a darker color. That it's a darker color on him. Kind of glossier, shinier, I guess you could say. They're in a different position, so are the tails. His is kind of bent over. His is straight up. Straight up, kind of. The spines are definitely the thing you're going to notice is different. His are bigger, his are smaller. The hands kind of, and then the face, I guess you could say it is, like, different. And I'm saying, I guess you could say that. They don't look too different, just almost different. It's picking up. But yeah, there it is, and he's obviously bigger than him. There you go. As for the comparison with Orga, he definitely stands bigger than him. For size, however, he is almost a whopping 3 inches. Not quite there yet, but he almost makes it on top of the tippity scale. And as for centimeters, he is at least 6 to 7, somewhere along those lines. So the sculpt here is pretty dang awesome. I like it. I love all the little bombs, crusts. I love all the spikes. I love how they did it. Those giant, magnificent, beautiful guys. Kind of curves here, which I think made it a beautiful effect. You can see the silver there, and this time he only has 3 rows of spines. I think that's pretty cool. 3 rows of spines. They look awesome. But oh my god, was this guy a pain to put together. We had to cut off the little pegs, so thank you to my parents who helped. Because this guy was not easy to put together. He didn't want to go all the way in. He was kind of stuck out. And it was because of the pegs inside the figure that hold him together. So we had to cut those off. And fortunately he got in. But some of the paint did chip off. You can see I colored it with a dark green Sharpie here between the legs. But again, it's not too noticeable. Because I think it's awesome. And the beautifulness already takes away everything here. It's so beautiful. I love the position he's in as well. It looks like he's kind of running and walking, ready to battle, ready to bash in. And I love how he's one of the only Godzillas besides Monsterverse who uses his tail in Godzilla 2000, where he whips down Orga on the floor, and in Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, where he brings Megaguirus down to the floor to, I think, slam her, I think it was. And he is the only, and I mean only, as far as I know, Godzilla who uses his spines to attack. In Godzilla 2000, he uses the top row up here to, I guess, choke slam. Not choke slam, but he does slam them against Orga's chin as soon as the battle starts. And in Godzilla vs. Megaguirus, he uses his spines to, I think, cut off one of Megaguirus' claws. I don't fully remember, but I think it is somewhere along those lines. And I know Godzilla vs. Megaguirus and Godzilla 2000 don't have any continuity together. They're both different, although connected to 1954. They're not the same movie and not the same Godzilla. But I like to think they are. I think it's beautiful. I love seeing a world of Godzillas like this. I don't know. I know it's not connected, but I like to think it is. I like to. The violet here is awesome, and there is as much detail in the spines as there is throughout the body. I love the body. I love how they made it. I love everything. And for this guy, not much articulation unless you're going to count the arm if you haven't put it together. But yeah, there's that. There's the tail over here. And the tail down here doesn't move because it's in between these spines. You're not going to be able to move it. Or actually, I guess you could. Anyway, there it is. The face is also beautiful. I love how it looks like a mixed texture of a Chinese dragon with Godzilla. The neck is beautiful. I love the eyes. I love how they made it. And I love how they took time to actually paint them yellow. It kind of looks white in my video, but they are kind of yellowish more than white. It's definitely noticeable. Anyway, before we end off, let's get into a few figures that you may have in your collection. So, here is the Heisei Bandai figure. He stands bigger than all of them. But yeah, here he is. Bigger than all of them. You get Godzilla 2003. No, 2002. I keep making that mistake and I have no idea why. But yeah, here he is. I like how he kind of looks like Godzilla 2000, except I like him. I just don't like him as much because it's the same black and white, but the black and gray is better in 2003, but he's not bad. Your Jax Pacific 2019 figure, who also stands taller over them. And then, last but not least, the King Caesar Gashapon, which I also have. Look at that, they're holding hands. Anyway, he is next to Orga, and then the other Godzilla 2000. Oh, this time he wanted to stand up. That is beautiful, isn't it? Anyway, there you go, guys. There is the 3-figure review. This is a little long. I do have a few more videos coming soon. My upload schedule has been... it's been rocketing, hasn't it? But yeah, I've been uploading a bit more, bringing you guys some good stuff. I take time working on these videos. So, yeah, and I love how all the videos come out, and thank you everybody so much for watching and helping me out and watching my videos. It means so much to me. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye and peace out.